Hello and welcome to UC Today. I'm Senior Editor Tom Wright, and I'm delighted to be joined by Mike from RingCentral. It's great to have you, Mike.
No, it's great to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to be talking about RingCentral in the developer world today. So to kick us off, could you explain a little bit about the RingCentral developers platform and how you're making it really sort of stand out from the competition?
Yeah, so one thing that's really unique about RingCentral is that whatever you can do through our UI, through the out-of-the-box app, we want you to be able to do through APIs as well. And that means opening up our APIs, not just so you can access your data, not just so you can set configuration, not just so you can onboard or set privileges for extensions, but also so that you can really take advantage of programmatic communications as a whole, the ability to message video phone through the APIs, make voice calls, access your voice recordings, send SMS messages, access SMS messages, but not just the person-to-person SMS messages that people are used to with UCaaS, but also the transactional or programmatic communications such as appointment reminders, two-factor auth, etc. Team messaging and the ability to bring your tools into the team messaging solution, as well as bring third-party apps into the team messaging solution or the app. Again, video, the ability to start video meetings, access your recordings, and we have some more exciting things coming on that route. And of course, fax and social media and other mediums as well. So really what we've tried to do is you have traditionally UCaaS over here, and you might have one or two APIs for UCaaS. You have CPaaS for all your communication APIs and sending SMS or making voice calls or sending faxes, and then you might have contact center. We want to bring it all together in something that we're calling UCPaaS, which essentially gives you a single source for all your communication needs.
Yeah, so can you give us a few examples of kind of bringing all of that together, sort of UCPaaS or sort of CPaaS?
Yeah, so again, the challenge you have with UCaaS, CPaaS, and CCaaS is today most of them are very separate. So when you set up your UCaaS offering, if you want to send those transactional SMS messages, the appointment reminders, etc., you have to go buy another solution for pay for CPaaS SMS. And what that means is you have a separate number, a separate system you have to set up, separate APIs. We want to get rid of all that complexity and bring it all together. With RingCentral and what we're calling UCPaaS or Unified Communication Platform and a service, you really get it all in one solution. So with UCPaaS, you can take advantage of the UCaaS app and the third-party integrations out of the box. You don't have to build what you don't need to build, but you have the APIs to build what you want to build and to have full control and customize your program however you'd like. And the great thing about that is you're able to use your trusted business number for both. You can use the same number for your UCaaS, your main business number, also for your SMS notifications. Your sales team can do individual reach outs. They can also automate their SMS reach outs to their customers. You also have one data point for all this information. So instead of saying, okay, I'll go to UCaaS and see how customers prefer to be contacted on UCaaS, then I got to go to my CPaaS and see how they prefer to be contacted on CPaaS. Then I got to go to my contact center and see how they prefer to be contacted on my contact center from social media channels. We bring it all into one place. That means you can identify across all your communications how your customer prefers to be contacted, what your customer sentiment is, keyword analysis, so you can identify issues easier. And again, you can make sure that you're not overloading your customers with tons of communications. The last one, which is big for a lot of industries, is regulatory compliance. Again, when you have three separate solutions, and by the way, when I say three separate solutions, typically it's 8, 9 separate solutions because you have a solution for team messaging, you have a solution for video, you have a solution for this. And by the way, you have all those redundant solutions for CPaaS as well, because again, the APIs and systems aren't there otherwise. You have to ensure regulatory compliance across all those systems. With RingCentral, we want it so that the regulatory compliance is uniform, your data retention policies are uniform, and so you set up once, you manage it once, you have one number, that's your trusted business number, one platform, that's RingCentral, and one set of APIs that you have to work with.
Okay, so with some of that in mind, could you pick out what you'd consider to be some of the biggest opportunities for developers to build with the RingCentral open platform?
You know, I like to talk or say the phone was invented, what was it, 1876? And we might have to fact check that because it's been a while since we looked up the date. But in 1876, when you went to make a phone call, you go to the local saloon, you wait in line to get to the phone, you'd pick up the phone, you talk to the operator and say, call this person. I think my mom's extension or phone number, by the way, back in the day was 076. I mean, phone numbers were not very long. And then you wait again to get a hold of them. You get the connection, and then it'd be a really bad connection. Like, hello, can you hear me now? And there are a lot of challenges. And here we are over 100 years later, and now what we do is we'll be driving and we'll use hands-free because we want to be safe. And we'll be driving and we'll tell Siri, hey, make a phone call. And Siri will make a phone call. Or Cordova, whoever you're using, will make a phone call. And then we'll get stuck in an IVR system and we'll put on hold for 30 minutes. And finally, we'll get a hold of the person we're trying to get a hold of at the company right as we hit the tunnel. And it goes right back to that same experience of, can you hear me now? Customers don't want to be on hold for 30 minutes. Customers don't want to have to spend hours and hours to resolve issues. And simple issues, it can take 4 or 5 hours to call. And the problem is the way that customers are now looking at companies is not just gauged on how good their product is, but how quickly can I resolve the problem? And that means, can I resolve it in a convenient, efficient way instead of having to call and be on hold for 30 minutes? And by the way, this is where smart systems come in. This is what you can do with APIs and technology when you combine UCPaaS. Person calls in. This is the 4th time they've called in. They've been on the phone with your agents for 4 hours. Immediately escalate them to a manager without having them go through the whole spiel again. Identifying sentiment analysis. This customer's been a great customer for 10 years. They've never complained. Now they're complaining. Something happened. Let's manage it differently than the customer that finds every single problem they can with a platform. But also open up modes of communication for SMS. We have an amazing customer, and they're in the t-shirt business. And what they do is they have a solution where once you place your order, they'll send you automated notifications about your order to let you know when it's shipping, etc. But they go a step further. If you respond back to those messages and say, hey, where's my order? It will pull that in, go to their system, get the tracking number, pull the tracking number information, and respond back with your order will arrive on Friday. It's currently in Texas. It'll be in San Francisco by this time. If I respond back, say, hey, I have a problem. I actually need 10 more t-shirts. Instead of it saying, okay, let me connect you to an agent, we'll go through the proofing process again, this whole thing. It says, no problem. We've updated your order automatically to include 10 more t-shirts, and automatically updates the backend systems. That's the mode of communication people are looking for. They're also looking for uniformity across the communication. The thing I hate is I call support and I talk to them on the phone. Then that doesn't work, and I get frustrated and make a tweet. And I get somebody different from support, and now I'm on a different contact center. I respond through social media. Then I get somebody who reaches out via SMS who's completely different and completely unrelated. What if we could, again, bring all that together? And that's what you really have with the power of UCPaaS and these APIs, is it's not just, oh, I'm going to build an appointment reminder. I'm going to build 2-factor auth. I'm going to send a notification of some sort. I'm going to do a COVID check to see if they're having symptoms. It's the ability to really revolutionize the way that you communicate with your customers and create convenient, efficient experiences or smart experiences. Our goal at RingCentral is to make communication simpler. We want to help our customers make communication simpler with their customers as well.
Okay, so if we look a little bit at how this works, could you talk through how you're working with sort of no code, low code, and then more complex coding?
Well, I think that goes back to the whole concept of being simple. It's kind of funny. The first time I built a web app, I called my dad. I said, Dad, I built this app. It's amazing. And my dad said, that's awesome. Can I see it? Now, unfortunately, it's a very niche type of app, and it was a little bit more complex. And I'm not picking on my dad because my dad's a very smart man, but sometimes he struggles with the computer. And I said, well, Dad, it's for the specific industry. It's a little bit complex. And he goes, can I use it? I'm like, well, it's really designed for this. He goes, well, can I use it? And finally, after about 10 minutes, I'm like, Dad, I'm trying to think how to do this. Because again, I love my father. He's an incredibly intelligent man, but not with computers all the time. I said, Dad, you struggle turning the computer on. And I could hear his smile through the phone. He goes, exactly. You should make it so easy that even I can use it. And that's been a life lesson I've taken with me. And that's been our goal at RingCentral, is make it so easy anyone can do it. And that means that when we look at APIs and we look at this technology, we can't just make it exclusive to developers who are going to go in, use a Java SDK, write tons of code and build a platform. We want to make it so that anyone can integrate RingCentral with the tools that they use. So we take a no-code, low-code, pro-code approach. No-code, we have over 300 pre-built apps that all you have to do is log with your RingCentral credentials and you can use that app. If you want to connect RingCentral to Salesforce, you want to connect to HubSpot, you want to connect to Sugar CRM, you just log in, everything's connected, everything works for you. The second then is the low code, and we have two different ways we approach low code. The first is we take a look at integration platform as a service or iPaaSes, and we have consumer grade iPaaS integrations such as Zapier, where anyone can go in and set up. They call it a trigger. Basically, something happens and then action, do this. And so if they update their Google Calendar, they can have an SMS sent from RingCentral to notify the person the calendar was updated. Or if they miss a phone call, they can make a note in Google Sheets or other tools. At the same time, we support enterprise iPaaS software, so your MuleSoft, your Tibco, your Informatica, your Dell, your Boomi. And the big reason for that is those tools remove the ability or the need to have to constantly manage the API. You just take the connector, drop it in, and it's self-updating, and it just works. At the same time, we also have embeddable widgets. So you can actually embed a fully functional phone in your app, any app that's connected to the internet based on HTML or Java using a single line of JavaScript. And of course, there's a backend JavaScript API. So if you want to get more complex and do more, you can. But if you say, look, I want to add RingCentral to my CRM where every time I see a phone number, I click and it calls that number, single line of JavaScript. If you have the ability to edit a header or footer, HTML on your tool, you just drop it in there and it works. And then finally, pro code. We've worked very, very hard to make sure that we have, APIs that are really focused on developer experience and usability. And we've been very, very, blessed to have been recognized for those efforts with our APIs. And we have APIs for message, video, phone, social media engagement, contact center, configuration, data retention, or new analytics, audit trail, etc. But it's really about not just creating the APIs and making sure they follow best practices and best standards, but that, again, they're easy to use. And doing that, RingCentral, again, we're very grateful we've been recognized actually as the best public API by Nordic APIs, best in communications API numerous times by API World, and best in communications innovations by Developer Weekly numerous times. And then I think we've won a couple awards and been up for developer experience from the Developer Portal Awards. So again, our goal is really to make it as easy as possible and then provide mechanisms to make sure that developers are successful with their APIs. And this is weird because I was a developer for 15 years and code to me is art. I love code, but there are plenty of times where it was not a joyful experience, especially had to go use someone else's API. We want to make it a joyful experience, and an easy experience, and we want it to just work. Whether you're an experienced developer or someone who's never touched code in your life, we want it to work for you, in 5 minutes or less out of the box.
Okay, so let's look a little bit more at the end user experience. Tell us about RingCentral Addins and the benefits that can come with that.
Yeah, so one of the newest things we released is RingCentral Addins. And RingCentral has always been about simplifying things and bringing things together. And so we brought message, video, phone together in one app. But the problem is you still have to go to 15 different apps to get your work done in the day. You may have to go to Salesforce and then do information there, or you get a DocuSign, you have to do a DocuSign, or someone shares a file on Google Drive, or someone submits a Google form, or someone updates Trello. So you find yourselves using all these different apps. And it's just incredible how many apps the standard enterprise uses today. And I think anybody listening here probably is going, yeah, I'm on 15 different apps right now trying to get my work done. We don't want you to have to go to all these apps and try to manage these things. When you get a notification saying, hey, I need a contract signed, you shouldn't have to go log into DocuSign, go through and do that. You should be able to just sign the contract inside the RingCentral app. When there's an update in Trello, you shouldn't have to go to Trello to see that update. It should just appear in the RingCentral app. And that's what RingCentral Addins really does, is it allows you to bring the apps you use every day into the RingCentral app so that the tools you use are there and you don't have to spend time switching between apps to do the everyday tasks that you need to do. Our goal again is to save time and also open up new possibilities. One of the great new possibilities with this, and this actually is one of our meetup talks that people can see on our website, is when someone calls 911 for an emergency, a partner of ours is using add-ins to immediately pull up a screen to notify their security that 911's been called. This is the location that's been called. This is how it needs to be handled. And the security has the ability to mark, yes, I'm responding in the app. They have the ability to add comments or notes in the app to notify everyone else, and everyone else sees those updates instantly. So instead of, hey, there's an emergency, click here, go to this app to get updates, and someone just opens the app, they just see it, and they get that, oh no, I need to go there right away. They see immediately, yep, I've got 3 people on this. They responded. Person's in stable condition. EMS is on the way, and the problem's going to be resolved, and things are going to turn out good. So again, the idea is to bring everything into the app, allow you to do the activities you do every day in a single place, and not force you to have to try to manage this was forever ago. I think 6-7 years ago, it was like 72 apps that the average enterprise app average 72 apps the average enterprise used. I can't talk today. Now it's hundreds of apps that the average enterprise uses that people have to navigate. So again, trying to make that simpler.
Okay, so let's say developers watching this wondering how to get started with RingCentral. Where should they go, and what do you do to get them up and running?
So the easiest way to get started is developers.ringcentral.com. If you go to developers.ringcentral.com, you're going to find our developer documentation, our developer guides, our API reference. You're going to find SDKs in 11 different languages. You're going to find code samples, how-to videos, etc. But here's what I really like about developers.ringcentral.com. When you go to our documentation and you're building your first app, there's actually a button that says, build my first app. You click that button, it will take you to the app references, fill everything in. It gives you sample code. So your first app is really a chance to copy and paste, put the code in, see how things work, and not have to try to dig through a lot of documentation, figure out how does this API work? How do I do this? How do I set this up? We also have our Game Changer program. And our Game Changer program is one of a kind in that you can go in, learn about RingCentral, but it's not just learning about RingCentral. We want to help you grow your skills as a developer. We want to help you become part of the RingCentral community and gain recognition for your knowledge and gain recognition for helping others. And as you learn new skills, as you grow, and as you help others, we actually give you points towards tangible rewards. Those rewards include things like my personal favorite, RingCentral swag. Who doesn't want RingCentral swag? But also programming books, programming software, memberships, conference passes, iPads, MacBook Pros, etc. So we want to really reward our developers for getting engaged, but also help them grow their skills. And then, of course, free tier 1 support. We have a forum, so you can ask questions in the forum. But if you ever get stuck and you got a question you're not comfortable asking in the forum, or maybe it involves some proprietary code you don't want to share, free tier 1 support through our developer support programs.
Okay, Mark, I've just got one more question for you. Are there any cool things on the roadmap you can sort of tease or give us some clues about?
Oh man, so this is the toughest question because of what's on the roadmap, and the answer is we have some really exciting things coming. Again, I kind of alluded to it in today. We want to be that one-stop communication shop. We want to make sure that we meet all your programmatic needs. We want to make sure we meet your UCaaS needs. We want to make sure we meet your contact center needs. But we also want to look at where the market's going and make communications, again, not just simpler but smarter. And I think if you look at RingCentral Video and some of the innovations that have been launched in RingCentral Video, if you look at the innovations that we've brought into voice, you look at the innovations we brought into SMS, being really one of the first providers to not just be carrier compliant, but add super intelligence behind the scenes to help protect our customers with the new SMS regulations out there. I think you're going to see some more innovations coming around the corner. The best way to stay up to date on what's coming, we have our monthly meetups. Like if you go to developers.ringcentral.com, you can attend our monthly meetups. And we have our annual Code Together conference for developers where, again, this year, I think we're going to have some really, really exciting announcements. I wish I could share them here, but I have to wait until the end of September.
Okay, well, we'll certainly keep an eye out for those announcements. But in the meantime, Mike, it's been great to have you.
Yeah, Tom, thank you so much for having me here. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Anyone who's still awake after listening to this. Again, I think it's super exciting. Appreciate all you guys do, and I appreciate the work that everyone is doing to move the communication space forward. Again, I talk about the phone being 1876. The fax was actually invented 33 years before that. So if you're using the fax, it's even further back. And it's time that we move communications forward and we make communications simpler for everyone. So thank you again for having me, and a big thank you to all the developers who are really being creative and innovative and finding new ways to do just that.
Yeah, as Mike said, thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and a share on social media, and we'll see you next time.